If you're watching this video and you have not subscribed to my YouTube page, please take a moment and hit the subscribe button. If you've already subscribed, thank you so very much. Be sure to turn your notifications on so that as I drop new content, you'll be the first notified. In today's video, I want to share with you 11 ways to fund your next real estate investment deal. Now, before I get into the details, I want to explain something to you. These 11 ways are not the only ways. I'm sure people can find dozens and dozens of ways to fund real estate deals. I like to find the most common, the most practical ways and share them with you, especially if you're like me, you're just scrapping it out every day, trying to figure out how you can put enough skill sets and opportunities and resources together just to make something happen. I don't come from money. I don't come from a background where I had connections. And so everything that I've done up to this point in my life, I've bootstrapped. I've had to figure it out with limited resources, limited networks and connections, but with the strategies and the skill sets, many of which are tied to these 11 ways that I'm going to share with you. So I want you to keep that in mind. Also, there's one way that I definitely didn't add to this, which is very common today, and that way is the syndication crowdfund strategy that a lot of people are using. But if you are a single family residential real estate investor and you're just looking to figure out a way to get one or two or a handful of properties in your portfolio, you might want to fix and flip a couple, wholesale a couple, buy and hold a couple just to get things going. These 11 ways are definitely going to help you. So let's get into the 11 ways to fund your next real estate deal. Number one, your savings account. You might have a savings account. If you booed up, married, you're connected with somebody, maybe they have a savings account. So that's an easy way. There are a lot of people who have savings accounts, money market accounts, CDs. All of them have different names. We're still talking about money that you got sitting in a bank. It could be $10,000, $20,000. I know some people who have $40,000 or $50,000 saved or put up in certain instruments that are not really getting them a big return, maybe a 4 to 5% return on an annual basis, where that money could be allocated into a real estate deal or a couple real estate deals that can really accelerate their growth. So savings account, number one. Number two, this is a very important one, your retirement account. You can easily take your 401k or whatever type of retirement account you have. You can self-direct it, meaning that you can put that account where you can control the narrative of it, and you can invest that money in real estate deals. If you don't know anything about how to self-direct your IRAs, I want you to click the link in the description of this video. It should prompt you to my investment website, RP Capital. It's RamonPrestonCapital.com. On there, we have a link to a custodian that we recommend for our private capital partners that we work with, those of whom have retirement accounts that they want to self-direct to get that money working to accelerate their retirement. So that's number two. Number three, the third way, your business or your side hustle. This is one of the ways I parlayed my way into deals. And I want to say this, even though I used extra business funds that I had to reallocate into my first few investment deals, I still had to hustle and grind for my business to make that money. So there's no easy way around it, okay? And even though when I did use my money that I had from extra business revenue for my first couple deals, I didn't necessarily have to use it because by that time I had relationships with private capital partners who trusted me and who knew that I was competent enough to help them make a return on their money. But it at least gave me the confidence. So when you hear people say you can do real estate deals with no money down, it is true, meaning that you can do real estate deals with none of your own money, because real estate transactions, they're going to cost, whether it's just closing costs, to do title searches and get insurance for your title, to get your investor insurance. There are a lot of things you have to pay for, okay? I have a team. I got to pay commissions, staff, salary, TC. There are a lot of fees and expenses that you have to conduct a real estate deal and the transaction to be successful. But my point is, having money, whether it's from your savings account, retirement account, business, or a side hustle, it gives you the confidence, even if there are other ways that you're going to fund your deal. But you have a business, you have a side hustle, that's an easy way to start stacking that cash to prepare for the next deal. Fourth way, family and friends. If you have family and friends, this kind of ties into private money lenders, but a lot of times you don't have to be as official with the private money lending with family and friends if your relationship with them is there. Like, for example, you got some siblings who have money. Maybe y'all set up an LLC. Maybe y'all make this a partnership where y'all split all the profits. If you got friends that want to come together, 3 or 4 friends, y'all set up an LLC and y'all become partners, and you might be the one spearheading it, but they can all benefit from it. So family and friends. Number 5, lines of credit. Now, of course, you have to have credibility with banks, with lenders. You have to have some established credit score to be able to have a line of credit or credit cards. I know people who have taken money off of credit cards and invested in deals. Like, sometimes, depending on how creative and unconventional you are with your investments, it may only cost you a couple $1,000s to get into a deal, to literally purchase a property. I know people who have purchased properties. As a matter of fact, I've had opportunities to purchase properties. I've had people to just hand me the keys and say, hey, if you want it, you can have it. I don't want nothing. I just want you to take it and do whatever you want to do. Although it would have cost me at least a couple $1,000s to run title, to get insurance, to pay my staff, to pay closing costs. But still, it just goes to show a couple $1,000s, which could easily be on a credit card, you can make it happen. Number 6, hard money lenders. If you're not experienced in real estate investing and you don't have someone who's extremely experienced around you, then you don't really want to deal with the hard money lenders unless you're getting coached and mentored by somebody who understands it, and or if you have already done some deals and you're familiar with the requirements that hard money lenders have and the responsibility that you are going to carry when you bring a hard money lender in on a deal. And a lot of times they want you to be experienced. They want you to have some money, some skin in the game. They're going to call it points up front. So it's not just you finding a deal and saying, hey, I want you to give me 100% of the money I need to buy this deal, to fix it and to resell it. It don't work like that. But that is a way that you can fund your deal. Number 7, conventional lenders. You can go the conventional route. All right. We have a lender on our team. My lender, she provides DSCR loans, USDA loans for our clients who want to buy homes, and she provides them and offers them for investors. She's an investor-friendly lender, so you can actually get pre-approved and you can get a loan like any other conventional investor does when they go to a conventional lender. Number 8, cash out refi. Now, this has to be a situation where you already own a home, you have equity in the home, and most likely you're going to go to a conventional lender or your bank and you're going to do a cash out refi, meaning that you're going to pull some of the equity out of the home, refinance the home, and whatever the equity is that you cash out with, which, by the way, is tax-free, you're going to use to invest in another deal. So those are the first 8 ways that you can fund a deal. Now, I put my favorite here because 9, 10, and 11, these are my favorites. And I'm going to be 100 with you. This is really all I like to use. 99.9% of the time, this is going to be my first conversation. This is going to be my first approach. Again, when I first got started, even before I used a private money lender, even before I entertained the owner financing or the possibility of a subject to, I had money from hustling, running my business that I saved and set aside to give me a little bit of that dry powder, we call it, to be able to get out there and get in the game. However, when I did get out there and get in the game, I wasn't looking for hard money lenders or conventional lenders to support other funding that I needed for the deals that I was looking at taking down, I relied on these last three, 9, 10, and 11. So the ninth way is private money lenders. Now, there's some paperwork involved. There's a lot of responsibility involved. There's a lot of trust involved. But if there are people that you know who have savings accounts, retirement accounts, they have businesses and side hustles with money, they have family and friends that they could bring and pool money together. They may have lines of credit, credit cards. They have properties that they could use as collateral, or they just have some cash sitting in a shoebox. They can become private money lenders. Now, what makes them different than conventional lenders and hard money lenders, these are not institutions. Okay, even though they may have a business and they may even lend you the money through the business, but these are just individuals, private money lenders. I call the individuals that I work with private capital partners, okay? Private capital partners, because how I use their money on deals and how I give them a return on their money is beyond them just being a lender. It looks, feels like they are partners, meaning that I pay them well. I make sure that they get paid and they feel good about the money that they lend me, and they want to continue to lend me money because they want those returns. So these are my private capital partners. But same thing as a private money lender. The only difference is how you're viewing them and what you're willing to give up, okay, in order to get that deal. And sometimes, like me, you may have to treat your private money lenders like private capital partners, like legitimate partners, and give them a little more meat on the bone just to establish credibility. That's what I did. But if they have money, you can bring them in on a deal. You're going to secure their money with that particular property, and all the paperwork and the legalities that support what we're talking about right now with private money lenders. You're going to have a title company or your attorney to handle all that. So it's not a big deal, which, by the way, if some of the things that I'm talking about resonate with you and you just need more information and education on this, we have a program called the Millionaire Blueprint. Inside of this Millionaire Blueprint, we have dozens and dozens of training courses specifically for real estate investing, creative real estate investing, including how to use private money lenders, draft the documents, and make sure that you get them the return. So private money lenders, owner financing. This is amazing, especially when you have sellers who are motivated to sell their properties, and they may not even have mortgages on their properties. There are unique strategies called hybrids that can include owner financing and sub 2, meaning that there may be an existing loan on the property and there may be enough equity that the owner wants to get a return on that equity, and you can structure the deal to take over the existing loan and to pay them over time. I don't necessarily use that hybrid strategy, but it does exist, and there are a lot of investors that do it. But here's owner financing, more specifically when the seller has no mortgage and they're willing to finance, become the bank for you. All it takes is for you to structure the deal, the terms, and have your attorney draft up the documents, and bada bing, bada boom, you have funded your deal. And last but not least, which is probably my favorite of all, is the subject to strategy. This is where you're taking over the existing payments, meaning that the seller, they have a certain motivation, and you're buying the home. They already have a mortgage on the home. They may have already gone to a conventional lender or a bank. They've gotten a loan and they're ready to move on for whatever the reasons are. It could be distress, or it could just be some motivation to move for a new job or for a change of scenery. There are so many different motivations that sellers have. However, instead of you paying that loan off from getting a new loan or getting a hard money lender or a private money lender or just paying cash, you can just take over that existing loan, continue making those payments, give the seller whatever they need, and you just acquired a property. So these are just 11 ways you can fund your next real estate deal. Again, if you have any questions, if you need more information, some education, some coaching, you want to be a part of a community, we have regular meetups, we have weekly coaching calls, we have a lot of courses and content that we teach the ins and outs of all of these strategies to help you take your real estate investing to the next level. I'll see you in the next video.